All right, this is the NFL on Chuck's Chat YouTube. I am joined by the usual suspects, Noah Yutt, Teddy Dolinsky, no Jeff. Once again, he will be joining us at some point. Again, I don't know.
Podcast anymore?
I don't know. He needs to because he just had a great week last week.
Yeah.
Now that I'm going to run off the records here. Last week, Noah went 7-2. I think that week 2 was an anomaly. I think that you've proven that so far.
I think you're right. I was a little terrified going into week 3, but I'll let you finish. All
right, 17-13, 57%, 2-3 on locks. Teddy last week 4-3, 20-17, 2-2 on locks. He's hitting at 54%. Jeff last week 3-1, 24-24. 1-3 on locks, and then I went 6-3. I'm 19-12, 61%, 3-1 on locks, and we all hit our locks last week. So round of applause for us. That was awesome.
Oh yeah. Some call us sharps.
Some would say that. Yeah.
In the streets, I heard people chattering. They're like, "Yeah, those guys are, they're pretty damn good."
Yeah. So Noah had Dallas. That was basically a non-sweat. Teddy had the Packers, but they were all non-sweats. Packers were a little bit in danger, I guess, of a backdoor, but it never really felt like the Steelers were going to backdoor. I had the Ravens, who killed the Broncos all game, and then the Chargers. It did kind of get a little sketchy at the end, maybe, but they were in control the whole time too. Yeah, took care of business. All right, so we usually start the show with closing thoughts from the previous week, do player of the week, performance of the week, worst performance of the week. This week, we're going to add the quarter poll MVP. Is there anything you guys wanted to touch on recapping last week's games? Anything that stood out to you before we got into anything else here?
Yeah, I want to talk about the Falcons football team game.
Sure.
Just the fact that they covered the -2.5 football team was absolutely insane. Like it seemed like they were going to lose that game the entire game. And the play that actually won them the game, they were going to kick a field goal to win. I think they were down by 1 or 2 at the time, so they could have just kicked a field goal to win the game. And that ridiculous, I think the pass went backwards from Heineke to McKissick, and McKissick just ran 25, 30 yards, dove into the end zone, got pushed out of bounds, was maybe like 5 feet in the air when he crossed the line, like 2 feet out of bounds. It was just a miracle. I mean, I lost the under on that. That one didn't even come close, but I pretty much made up for it because of that play. It was just an insane ending.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was an awesome ending. Yeah, that's the miracle cover. You love to see that. Teddy, we'll start with you for player of the week, best performance and worst performance from a team, and if you wanted to say your quarter poll MVP.
Yeah, I guess the performance of the week and MVP kind of go hand in hand. I'm going to go with Kyler Murray. It's tough to root against him. I was wrong against the Cardinals. I thought they weren't all that, but that's a big win against the Rams on the road, divisional win. So I'll say that's the best performance of the week. And I think they're gonna have to win a lot of games in these divisional games. They're taking care of business. I know most MVPs, you look at it, I mean, they win at least, their teams that win at least 12 games a year, besides Matt Ryan and the Falcons. But so, I mean, they got to win a lot of games. So I'm going to take him right now. Still early, a lot of football left, but I mean, they're looking good on all cylinders. My loser of the week, I don't know if it's too much of a loser, but I'm going to go Belichick just because of the whole promo. I'm not going to say so much of the Patriots, maybe more so just Belichick. Like, obviously, it's one game, it's a regular season game, it's early. But, the Brady, Belichick, the promo, I mean, they were sick. Kind of a little bit weird. I feel like it was just a little bit too much right before the game. I don't know about your thoughts of it, like, leading up to the game was just all about Brady. And I was like, all right, well, this is just a regular season game, guys. Come on. I mean, sales ratings, though. So I'm just going to say, Belichick, they gave it all. I mean, he's seen him in practice for the last, 20 years, so that he kind of knows what he does. But I'm gonna say, every time in that relationship you lose, it's going to be a loser of the week. And player of the week, I'm still working on it, so come back to me.
All right, got it. I do agree, Kyler Murray, quarter poll MVP. only undefeated team, and he's played awesome so far. It is interesting too. You see, it's always a debate, and I don't like hiring guys that have never coached the NFL to be NFL head coaches. Kingsbury's done a very good job. Give credit where it's due. There's so many guys that come up who don't do well. Obviously, Urban Meyer, Chip Kelly had the one good year. The dude, his name is slipping my mind now. He coached at Arkansas and then coached the Falcons. It's my dad when he's watching this, he'll know who I'm talking. He went 3-13. He went like 3-10, and then resigned after the 13th game. All he did was leave a note at his players' lockers saying, like, he didn't even tell them. He just left a note at everyone's lockers saying like that he's gone. I totally forgot his name. Bobby Petrino. He was bad too.
Yeah.
Really, the only ones that did anything of consequence were Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer, and Switzer took Jimmy Johnson's players on Dallas to win a Super Bowl. So like it was only really Jimmy Johnson. So it's nice to see Kingsbury doing well so far. So far, so good. Noah, what are your awards going for this week?
Yeah, so my player of the week, I'll start with that since that's where Teddy left off, is Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill had 186 yards and 3 touchdowns. So Patrick Mahomes only threw for 275-ish yards, so he threw for less than 100 yards to the rest of the team. Tyreek Hill just torched the Eagles secondary. Just wasn't fair. My worst performance of the week for teams goes to the Saints. They were up 21-10 in the fourth quarter and somehow lost that game. That was brutal. It was just hard to watch. The Saints could be one of those every other week teams because they looked really good in weeks 1 and 3 and really bad in 2 and 4. Keep an eye on them this week. And my performance of the week, which is crazy because they were my worst performance of the week last week, I think, is the Jets. They come from behind when I know the Titans were a little shorthanded at the wide receiver position without A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. But Derrick Henry still torched them. But, I don't know how I feel about Zach Wilson still, but he looked pretty good at the end of the game. The fact that they were able to pull out the win after trailing for most of it was pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, it was an awesome bounce back for Zach Wilson, and Fat Randy blew it at the end. He gets called Randy when he hits the game winner against the Seahawks. He's Fat Randy this week. It's unfortunate, but I think Zach Wilson is an example of why you just have to. Sometimes you just have to throw a rookie in the fire and just let him make all the mistakes. I think he still has more interceptions than touchdowns. Just let him go out, make all the mistakes. Like Mac Jones is kind of having his hand held along the way. Like just let it fucking rip, and then make the mistakes, get better. I think Zach Wilson. I think we've seen the worst of Zach Wilson already. I hope.
Yeah,
I do still believe with him. Yeah, right. Yeah. So I think we've seen the worst of him. So my performance of the week I gave to Justin Herbert, or player of the week, Justin Herbert. He played a pretty flawless game against the Raiders. Huge divisional game at home, all that, 3 touchdowns. He was awesome. Best performance, I'm going with the Bills. The Texans aren't good, but 40-0 is 40-0. They dominate. They did what they were supposed to do. They killed them. And then worst performance, I gave it to the Titans. That is a tough one to lose in the way that they lost it. Should never have been. They kicked themselves in the foot the entire way and deserved to lose at the end. So
that was almost like my same exact pick there. Worst performance to the Titans and then the Bills. Because, when you shut out a team in the NFL, that's very impressive. But I don't know. Felt like saying something nice about the Jets finally.
Yeah. And then worst performance, I was also thinking Saints.
Yeah. That was.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like I said, it was brutal.
Yeah, and then, coming back to being at home, you had all this excitement, and it just didn't perform.
Yeah, I forgot that was their first game in New Orleans.
Now they're back on the road.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so going into this week, we have 7 games to talk about here. Starting in Carolina Panthers coming off a loss at Dallas. Eagles coming off of a loss at home to Kansas City. The 1-3 Eagles visiting the 3-1 Carolina Panthers. Noah, you were right about the Panthers. Teddy and I were wrong about the Panthers. So I want you to start with this one. What do you think about this game? Carolina's -4, over under 45.
Yeah, so yes, I was right about the Panthers. I don't think they're a bad team. I think they were just a very fraudulent 3-0 team. I think they're going to still win a fair amount of games this year. Like they're gonna touch the 10 win range, maybe 8 or 9. I don't see them getting over 10. Because their defense is legit. Even without J.C. Horn, they just got Stephon Gilmore. And I think they're probably going to beat the Eagles. Eagles might cover it. What did you say? Is it 4 or go up to 4.5?
I had 4.
If it moves up to 4.5, I could see the Eagles maybe covering that. But that's tough. I think that's a really sharp line right there. Over under, I'd probably go over. It's going to be close again. I think Vegas kind of nailed this game. It's not really one I'm going to be betting on a whole lot, but I think the Panthers pull out the win. Eagles, I don't know. I thought their defense was going to be a lot better. And Jalen Hurts hasn't been terrible, but the big playability in that offense just isn't there. And it has a lot to do with his Jalen Hurts' arm. Yeah, there's a couple, long-ish plays, but there's so many balls that I've seen Jalen Hurts just horrendously underthrow. When these plays could easily be touchdowns if you had somebody with a bigger arm throwing these balls. So I got Panthers in this one.
Teddy, what do you think? You say you have Panthers -4. So you're saying
I'll take Panthers -4. I think it's going to be close, but I'll take Panthers -4.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like the Eagles just look sloppy, and Hurts not only like deep balls are underthrown, even there's short outs. Like it should still be right on his chest. Like it's still lacking the small throws that you don't think matter, and they come and bite you later on in the game. I think McCaffrey's coming back this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't see the way the Eagles are going to stop him. None of our linebackers are good enough to handle him, even the past game. So I think this is a little bounce back game for the Panthers, and sad to say they probably will cover against the Birds. The total, that's a tough one. But I don't think it's gonna be a shootout, so I'd probably lean towards the under. Yeah, again, I don't know if I'm gonna be touching it, but I'd probably lean towards the under in Carolina covering.
So I already bet this game. I like the Eagles plus. I like the Eagles +4. I think they can win the game outright. This is one of those games where the Eagles needed a lot more. 1-3. They're going to leave it all out there. Carolina got a little bit exposed last week. I don't think it's going to be weird. I honestly don't think the Eagles are as bad as their record says currently. I think when we look back at the end of the season, seeing that they lost to San Francisco, Dallas, and Kansas City, those 3 teams could all make decent runs in the playoffs. I think they keep it close. I think they can win the game. It's going to come down to who makes one more play at the end, Jalen Hurts or Sam Darnold. So I think that if they do lose, it'll be like a 24-21. But I can see the Eagles winning this game. I love the Eagles in this spot. They're not my dog of the week, but I like the Eagles in this spot.
I mean, the Chiefs and Cowboys, and I guess even the Niners, they're all very good teams. So I see where you're coming from. But I don't know. I'm kind of worried about the defense right now. I know I was kind of high on them earlier this year. They got some players in the offseason. I think McLeod's coming back this week, maybe. But schematically, I don't know. The defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, he's not on the hot seat to get fired, but he's on my personal hot seat. Is what I think about him. I don't know. He's got to turn it around. He's got to turn it around quick because the last 2 weeks have been brutal. I saw a stat that I think in Jim Schwartz's 5 or 6 year tenure, however long he was here, I think he let up 40 points once, and we let up 40 points in the last 2 weeks each. So
Brandon Graham being out just hurts a lot for that
time.
defense.
Big time. And Darius Slay has to shut up. Like, I don't care, what the stats are against you. If you're going to Twitter and bragging about it after a loss, like, come on. That pass is in Detroit because it's Detroit.
Whoa. Whoa.
Nothing against the city.
Right
just
now.
The Lions have sucked for years. So I get it. But, man, this isn't Detroit. Like, if you lose, like I don't care about your stats. And also to kind of flip it, I know I'm kind of rambling. I still like Hurts. He's still very much a work in progress. He had a very good game last week, but there's a lot of just things that can and need to be improved. And like Teddy said, like these like short passes, like got to be hitting him in the chest. I don't know. He's not putting them in the best place that I know he can be.
Yeah. All right. So next game here, the Cleveland Browns going to LA. I have a pick 'em here. I think I saw it move to like 2 for the Chargers. Over under 49.5. Teddy, we'll start with you in this. This is a huge AFC game. Like this could mean a lot towards home field advantage in the playoffs.
I absolutely love the Browns here. I just think they're a very well-rounded team. Not to say anything against the Chargers, but I don't know. I feel like the Browns, like they just need this game a lot more than the Chargers. I think their run game is going to pound them, and it's going to be. I love the under as well. I think what did you say is 2 right now? You got it at 2.
Oh,
I think it's at 2 right now.
Yeah. I mean, I would. Yeah, I'm all in. I think Myles Garrett. This is like a defensive player of the year kind of performance show for him. So something's going to go down. Just because everyone seems Justin Herbert seems untouchable right now. He's got a sound line, so I'm going to go all in on the Browns and the under.
Rashawn Slater has not allowed a sack since 2018, I think. Granted, he took a year off. But yeah, him versus Myles Garrett this week should be a lot of fun. Now your San Diego Superchargers.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree more. My San Diego Superchargers are going to clean the slate right here. I do like the under. The Browns defense is good. Chargers defense is good. But I think -2 is disrespectful to the Chargers right now, considering Baker Mayfield is hurt. And the Browns offense did not look that great last week against a weak Vikings defense. I don't know if you're looking it up right now, but a couple weeks ago, he separated his shoulder. He's got a torn labrum right now. Yes, it's not in his throwing arm, but it's definitely affecting him on the field. And you could see it last week. Like I said, I think -2 is a little disrespectful to the Chargers. They're going to be improving to 4-1 after this week, and they will be covering.
You know that now. I didn't know that about Baker, and I love it even more. Anytime you're so confident about
that makes sense.
I just love it even more.
I don't know what side to like in this game because there's the Chargers letdown factor after beating the Chiefs and Raiders, and there's also the Browns went to Minnesota, back to Cleveland, now out to LA. They might have there might be something there. So I really don't know on the side. I do like the under though, for all the reasons you guys said. Under 49.5 makes a lot of sense. There probably won't be a ton of points in this game. Physical, as Brandon Staley would like it. Next game, I'm very excited for this game. San Francisco at Arizona at the Big Toaster. Shout out Chris Berman. The Arizona Cardinals are 5.5-point favorites. The over/under is 50. Noah, this NFC West bout, what do you think?
I love the Niners in this game. They even have a chance to win it because I think Arizona is due for a letdown after a big emotional victory against the Rams. It's tough to win back-to-back divisional games, especially when the two teams you're playing are the Rams and the Niners. Those are no slouch teams. So I'll definitely take Niners with the points. Over/under, I do like the over. Even though I think the Niners are going to win, like I said, Cardinals overs all year long. I'll take the over in this one.
All right, Teddy.
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards San Fran as well. I think, that's a lot of points in division. Like that division itself, like any game that's more than like 3.5, I'm going to take the dog. Just because they're going to beat each other up. I like the way San Fran's going. Again, Arizona is rolling, but they're always due for a nice little reality check and nothing more than a divisional game. You never know. So I would definitely lean towards San Fran. And as far as the over/under, I'm conflicted on this one. I don't know really what to think. I'm probably going to lean towards the under just with divisional matchup.
Yeah, I love San Francisco here. I also already bet this game. I have San Francisco +5. They are my dog of the week this week. I think they can win the game outright. I may bet money line as well. They are better than 2-2. They should have beat the Packers last week. I think the final score was like a double-digit win for the Seahawks. It wasn't as bad as the score indicated. They had two really stupid special teams mistakes that the Seahawks took advantage of, and Arizona. I feel the same way about Arizona this week as I did about the Rams last week. Is that they have a natural step back. They couldn't have played a better game. It was a huge game for Kingsbury, huge game for Murray, huge game for everyone to go in and beat the LA Rams to get first place, be the only undefeated team. All of that they are due for a step back and due for a loss. I don't believe they're the best team in the NFC West. I think that honor goes to the team we're watching tonight, the LA Rams. We'll get into that if you guys have any picks on that later. But yeah, I love San Francisco here. I don't even know who they're starting at quarterback, and I don't think it matters. That's how much I like the 49ers this week.
Yeah, and the other thing too is I don't know if I consider them desperate for a win at 2-2.
I would,
but considering the Cardinals are 4-0 and the Rams are 3-1, they are very, very hungry for a win if they want to keep up with the top of the pack there. I think I said earlier a few weeks ago that they may be the odd one out in this division. But this is a division where, every team's going to be right around 9 or 10 wins, at least.
Yeah, and I don't think, and I do agree and disagree with the desperate for a win thing, because 2-3, they're not like out of it. But to start in this division 0-2 and drop 3 straight is a terrible sign.
Yeah.
And I don't think Kyle Shanahan's going to let that happen. I think that they really need this game to stay in the race and all that. I don't know what their schedule is upcoming, but that would be interesting to see who they have. They do have a 4th place schedule though. So that also kind of plays into your thing there. Next game, the Chicago Bears going to Las Vegas. The Raiders 4.5 point favorites. Over under is 45.5. Noah.
I kind of like the Bears. I don't know. The Raiders, had a very good start to the season. Obviously, they got smacked around a little bit, especially in the first half against my San Diego Superchargers. And I still think they're going to win a good amount of games. But that could have just been a special September, and they could be coming back down to earth. I don't think the Bears will win. But I like him to cover, especially with Justin Fields running the offense now. I think Matt Nagy said today or yesterday that he's officially the starting quarterback, even if Andy Dalton were healthy. Their big play ability is drastically improved. I forget what the stat was. I think Andy Dalton in 2.5 starts had thrown the ball more than 20 yards down the field. I think once or twice. Something like that. Maybe it was 10 yards. And then Justin Fields was like closer to like 8 or 9. So just the offense just becomes much improved with that. And I don't think their defense is terrible. Like I was concerned it would be after week 1. They're still formidable. Again, I think the Raiders win, Bears cover. Over under, I do like, I don't know. I was going to say I like the under 45.5. Yeah, I like the under.
All right, Taddy, what do you think?
I really like Vegas in this. A little chip on the shoulder after Monday night's loss. They do have 2 games they've won this year coming back from 14-0 deficits. Obviously, that didn't work out Monday night, but I think they get ahead early and they just kind of cruise throughout the game. They easily cover. David Montgomery out for the Bears really doesn't help Justin Fields' case. They're not going to be able to set the run game. That D-line is nasty for Vegas. So I'm all in on Vegas covering. And the over-under, I'll probably take the under. I just don't think Chicago is going to put up that many points. Unless I feel like it's just going to be a backdoor like total thing where it's going to be a cheap field goal at the end and everyone's going to lose their minds. But I'll take the under. And I'll live with that if that happens. Maybe not in the moment, but I'll live with it. Because it was the right pick.
Yeah.
The under and Vegas.
Yeah, I like Vegas for the same reason Teddy said. I think that the defensive line versus O line is going to be a huge mismatch. I struggle to see how much the Bears are going to be able to score. Raiders, this is a good bounce back spot for them. So really like the Raiders here, -4.5. All right, NFC East. Giants coming off a big win, their first win of the season, going to Dallas, who improved to 3-1. The Cowboys are -7. The over/under is 52. Teddy, we'll start with you.
I hate to say it, Dallas is looking good on all cylinders. I mean, they cut Jalen Smith, which is I don't know. Was there a reason to that, or was that
No
just
idea.
out
That
of the
was
blue?
weird.
I
Nothing?
think they're overpaying him, and he just was not performing to the contract. I know they ate a lot of money, but I think they just rather get it off their books, be done with him, play other people. I think that's all it really came down to.
Yeah, I mean that's the Dallas way. You just grind for 2 years, get a max contract, and then just coast. But I guess Dak and Zeke are actually performing this year, which is mind blowing. Sorry for the little Cowboys rant. I don't know what to think of what the spread. I mean, it's high again for a divisional game. The Giants, it's a hit or miss with them. So if I had to lean towards the spread, I'd probably just take the Giants with the points. I mean, 7's a lot, and they did have a big win, so maybe they can roll off a little energy from there. The total, I would probably go under. Dallas has just been in these shootouts, and it's time for a little duck to be thrown. So I'm going to take the under and the Giants.
Noah, what do you think?
I like the Cowboy spread here. Typically, divisional games, anything over 3.5, 4. I usually like the dogs in that spot. But after the Giants win last week, that was the game. I think you said it best a few weeks ago. Is Daniel Jones is good for one game every other month, where that makes you say wow, is he the franchise guy? That was great. I think that was this game.
Okay.
I think they're due for a huge letdown next week where they maybe score 1 touchdown. The Cowboys defense is that good, and their offense is really, really good. I could see this easily being a 35-10 spot right here. And I like the under for that reason. I think the Cowboys are going to score a lot of points. I don't think the Giants are going to score many at all. So I'll take Cowboys -7, and I'll take the under on that.
Yeah, I don't really know what to think about the side here. 7 is a lot for a division game, but yeah, it could be a blowout. I have zero read on this game, but I would probably lean under as well. Just take my chances with 52 as the total.
It's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points. So
it's a lot of points for a bad Giants defense or bad Giants offense and a good Cowboys defense.
Yep, agreed. All right, Sunday Night Football, AFC Championship rematch. This is going to be so much fun. I can't wait for this one. Buffalo going to Arrowhead. The 3-1 Bills taking on the 2-2 Chiefs. Chiefs laying 2.5. Over under is 56.5. Noah, we'll start with you on this one.
I was looking forward to this game before the lines even came out. I was planning on just taking the dog with the points. Doesn't matter who it was. So I will be taking Bills +3. That will be on my card. I also love the over in this. This feels like Chiefs Rams from a couple of years ago, where it was just points everywhere. Whenever you see 56.5, that many points, I feel like you have to take the over, because Vegas just doesn't want to go too high because it's going to scare people away. But when you see that, you just know it's going to be points everywhere. This could easily be a 35-33 type of game.
Yeah, I agree on I really hope it's like the Rams Chiefs from a couple years ago.
I'm very excited to watch this game. I not gonna lie, I've been kind of falling asleep around halftime for most of the Sunday night, Monday night games, but this is gonna be the one where I'm gonna try and stay awake. I'm very excited to watch this game.
Teddy, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm very excited for this over. Noah basically mentioned, it's they don't want to get it too high where it scares people. If you see 58 in the NFL, oh, I don't know, but yeah. I love the over on this game. I really just think it comes down to the turnover battle. I mean, both teams are very good offensively, defensively. Chiefs aren't that good, but they can just score so quickly. It's unbelievable. So I want to take. See, I really think this is going to come down to Buffalo's up by 2 at the end of the game, and Kansas City has a minute and a half to drive, either get a field goal to win the game. So I guess I'm gonna lean and take the points with the Bills, just because they'll cover the 2.5 at the moment. So I'll probably lean towards the Bills, but I really think it's gonna come down to that last minute field goal or last second field goal.
It's gonna come down to whoever has the ball last. I think that's what it's gonna be. That's why I like Bills plus. Like I said, yeah, even if the Chiefs are dog, sure, I would have taken them. I do think the Bills will win this game, though.
I have already bet this game. And
what games have you not?
I have 8 total NFL bets. So there's some parlays though, so it's not entire thing. But I already took Chiefs minus 2.5. For a couple reasons. The first is that, and I just had an article up from 2019, so it's not completely updated because I know that Andy Reid beat McDermott twice last year, and I don't remember if they played the Bears or not. No, because they would have played the Packers, and that would have been a whole Rodgers versus Mahomes thing. But 11-6 record against former assistants is Andy Reid. He has now. I don't believe he's lost to McDermott. He beat him twice last year, both by double digits, I believe. The Chiefs, they went down to the wire with the Browns. Probably should have lost that game. They went down to the wire with the Chargers. Lost that game. They still haven't had that game where they show that they're the Kansas City Chiefs. They lost to Baltimore. That's a huge loss. They need that win against a potential division champion that they have not gotten this year. They have not shown us that they're the Kansas City Chiefs yet. It feels like this Sunday Night Football prime time against a team that they've had their number. It feels like the Chiefs are going to win this one, and not convincing like they're going to win by 10 plus, but I think that it'll be on Monday morning when we wake up, it'll be like, all right, the Kansas City Chiefs are here. I can't imagine them being 2-3. I just can't see the Kansas City Chiefs being 2-3. If you would have told me they start 2-3, I would have said no fucking way they start 2-3. So that's why I'm taking the Chiefs.
Do they cover? They're not good at covering.
I'm the bet against the Chiefs against the spread guy because I think they're overvalued publicly. I think here, I mean, I did take them 2.5, so I think you take the Chiefs there. I really like them.
Sold. I'm back on the Chiefs 2.5. I'm sold. You got me.
I don't know. They've been top dogs, or at least close to it, in the AFC for the last 3 years. This could be, relatively a down year. I mean, the Seahawks did it. The Patriots weren't in the Super Bowl every single year. The Ravens had a down year, or maybe be even in the midst of one. I don't know. Like all these dominating teams, you can only you can only have this just extreme stretch of dominance for so long. And it's not to say they're not going to be good or they're not going to make the playoffs. Like they're still going to win probably 11 games, go 11-6, something like that. But their defense is suspect. Like the defense is very suspect, and their reworked offensive line isn't as good as most people thought it would be coming into this year. Like Orlando Brown was supposed to be a huge splash. He hasn't been very good. And the Bills defense is very good. And that's why I do like the Bills in this spot. I know it's away. I will be taking up points. Like I said, I think they might be able to win this game. I don't know. There are just aspects of the Chiefs that concern me. And Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, yes, great combo. Andy Reid, great coach. But you need a complete team to win in this league, especially against elite competition like the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. All right. So anything else before we get to cards here? You guys have any thoughts? Any thought starters, perhaps? Actually, I do have a thought starter. Teddy, your top 5 teams in the NFL. I'll put you on the spot. Give me a power ranking.
Oh, good Lord. Just got me, man. Give me like 2 seconds while I just stall and then talk about, know what really grinds my gears is when I just don't even look at my slate on NFL Sunday because I just had a horrible college football Saturday. So
yeah,
now go ahead.
Last weekend I finished with a winning record in college, but I missed all of my big bets. Like I had LSU, that was a big one, and then Ole Miss.
Chuck, you're killing me with the locks, man.
Yeah, they're both. Yeah, and then I lost 10 units on Notre Dame, Ole Miss, and LSU. It's tough to. I don't care how good the rest of your day was. It's tough to come back from that.
Yeah, it is tough. All right, so top five. I'll take the Rams number one. Obviously they did lose, but I think they're still a very sound team. They're well rounded with going into the playoffs, and you'd like to see that. Divisional games are going to beat you up. Then I'll probably take the Cardinals, even though I was wrong on them. They're looking good. You can't really bet against them right now until they do prove you wrong. I'll go with the Chargers. I'll just throw the Chargers in there. Why not? Why not throw the San Diego Superchargers in there? And then I'll take the Bills at 4.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I'm losing count, man. It's late at night. And I will probably take the Cowboys. I'll throw them at 5.
Okay.
Cowboys or Packers, like even. I mean, they're very good on defense. They're putting up a lot of points on offense. So until someone stops them right in their tracks, I think they're a top 5 football team.
All right. I like it.
And I
It's
hate
good
to say
ranking.
it.
It's good
Yeah.
ranking. Now you want to do your card?
Yeah, I agree. I think the Rams are the most complete team in the NFL. I'll put them at number 1. I'll put the Bills at number 2. I think they're the second most complete team. They don't have much of a running game, so I'll give the Rams an advantage over that. I would say probably the yeah. No, I'd have the Chargers at 3, my San Diego Superchargers, Cardinals at 4, and then at 5, I have the Packers. I think the week 1 spanking against the Saints is something people are still like, they can't get their heads around right now. But they've looked very formidable in the last 3 weeks. I think Aaron Rodgers is back. And I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with all year.
All right. Yeah, you can do your card. So everything but your lock.
No, Chuck, how about you do your top 10? Put you on the spot.
My top 10 teams in the NFL or just top 5?
No, top 10.
Top 10. Top 5 I would be Rams, Bills, Cardinals. Chargers, Cardinals, and the Packers. I'll do 5.
So my list.
Was that your
Way
list?
to be original, Chuck.
Was that your list? Then yeah, that's my list.
See,
No, I'll take
I texted you
Packers
before
out, Browns in.
I texted you earlier today. I said, Chuck, I think we're going to be on the same exact wavelength this week. And look at us.
That's crazy. All right, Packers back in. Browns out at 5.
So cards.
Cards, go for it.
All right. So starting off, I've already bet on tonight's game. I know this probably won't be coming out till Saturday night or Sunday, but I definitely will be taking the Rams -2.5 at Seattle. I mentioned it earlier. The Saints are going to be an every other week team. I do like a -2.5 at Washington. I think Washington's also in a spot to kind of have a letdown after a big emotional win. Even though the Titans have not looked very good this year, especially after a heartbreaking loss against the Jets, the Jacksonville locker room has to be a nightmare right now with the whole Urban Meyer situation going on. I do not see Jacksonville coming anywhere near a win, even though I liked them a lot last week. So I have Titans -4.5. This next one is very conditional, so put an asterisk on this. I like the Steelers -1.5 if Teddy Bridgewater doesn't play. If Teddy Bridgewater does not play, I'll take Steelers -1.5. If Teddy Bridgewater does play, I'll probably take the Broncos. I don't know what the line would look like at that point, but I take the Broncos.
I'm assuming Bridgewater won't play.
So I'll take Steelers -1.5. Next up, Chargers -2 against Cleveland. I said that earlier. I said Niners +5.5 at Zona earlier. Also Bills +3 at Kansas City. And I also am taking the over in the Bills and Chiefs game at 56.5.
I feel like the Steelers Broncos is a sneaky, that's a good under. Also, especially,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I think that and the Patriots game, I forget who they're playing. Texans. Those are both at 39.5. So that kind of swings the opposite of the Bills Chiefs. Whenever you see under 40, you almost have to take that under. Like it's trying to scare you into thinking like, oh, no way an NFL game can go under 40 points. Those both
It's a
could
Big
easily
Ten
be
under,
like,
dude. I love it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it could be like 10-17 right there.
I still can't believe the Ravens Broncos was like 45.
Yeah,
It ended
Yeah.
at like 23-7.
Yeah.
Also, Bridgewater got injured, but it probably still wouldn't have been come close to it.
Yeah.
Teddy.
I'm gonna go with Green Bay. I think they keep rolling. I mean, field goal isn't too many points at the moment. I do like Tennessee as a bounce back game. I probably should say that. I know we talked about Las Vegas. I'll take them laying the points. San Fran +5. I think that's, we alluded to it again. I love the over in Buffalo, KC. And then I love the under in Dallas and the Giants game at the moment. Are we doing locks and
Who's your dog of the
Dogs.
week?
the Cleveland Browns, baby?
Okay.
Oh,
Perfect.
Mine's the Bills. Mine's the Bills.
Bills.
I
Okay.
forgot to mention that. Mine's the Bills.
Perfect. Fitting that the Browns are the dog of the week. Okay, so San Francisco +5. They're my dog of the week. Vegas -4.5. Eagles +4. Saints -1. I did bet this, but I bet it on the money line because it did end up going like the number got weird, and I don't like messing around with spreads like that. I don't think the football team's good. Their defense isn't good. If there's a get right spot for their defense, it's playing Jameis Winston. I really hope that's not the case, so I'm taking the Saints. I think they're a better team. Rams -1.5. I also took this on the money line, but this is an against the spread show, not how well can you pick money line show. So Rams -1.5, and then Chiefs -2.5. My lock of the week is the Tennessee Titans. This is a perfect overreaction from them losing to the Jets, and then they're not going to lose to the Jets and the Jags 2 weeks in a row. I still think they're a good team. I think they can make noise. Jags are a complete shit show. They should blow this team out. I love the Titans in this spot.
Yeah, I love that lock.
Yeah, I was gonna take that lock.
Same lock. Do you just want to have the same lock?
Yeah, that
Okay.
was a statement. But I completely agree with everything you just said.
Okay.
Yeah, they're at a huge bounce back spot against the Jets. Yeah.
We'll save it for all the viewers on the parlay.
Yes. Right. Exactly. Wait, no. Is that also your lock?
No,
Okay.
although I do love that, and I probably will be putting a good amount on that. My lock of the week is Packers -3 at Cincinnati. As I said before, I think the Packers are one of the 5 best teams in the NFL, and I think their Vegas too is still in that like how the hell do they get whooped by the Saints? Like I think it's just kind of scaring off the line makers, and Cincinnati being 3-1 is also helping out that line a little bit because I think the Packers are just gonna wipe out the Bengals. I think they're going to take care of business. The Bengals, I think, are good, but I don't think they're quite yet there to be competing with the best teams in the league. Like, I think they're probably going to win a good amount of games. They're going to probably finish right around in that 8 to 10 win range. But the Packers are just, they're the class of the NFL. They're, like I said, one of the 5 best teams. There's no way they're winning by less than 3 points or losing to the Bengals.
Yeah, I think if this was in Green Bay, the line would probably be like 5.5, 6.
Probably.
I agree. Yeah, I like that. It's a good lock. And whatever Jeff sends us. All right. Anything before we sign off here? Are you betting the game tonight, Teddy?
I don't think so. Well, I got 2 minutes, so I have not taken a pick. But if I do,
we didn't do this earlier because why would we do a defensive player of the year through 4 games? But if the season were to end today, Trayvon Diggs is definitely the defensive player of the year. What does he have? 5 picks in 4 games and at least 1 pick 6, maybe 2. I don't know. Dude's a baller. It sucks the Eagles are gonna have to play him for the next 10 years.
Agreed.
corners only last 3 years.
That's true. They do have short runs. That's true.
That's fair, but I mean, you get those corners, those once in a generation type corners. You have Darrelle Revis, then Richard Sherman, then
Jalen Ramsey.
There's
probably better odds that he will get traded than play 5
Diggs?
years for the Cowboys. Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair. But
Dude, it's a Cowboy
at the
way,
very
man.
least, we're going to be seeing him for the next few
Yeah.
years.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah, it sucks. He's really good. The Diggs family's good at football.
They
Yeah.
are.
But is he? He's not brothers. He's cousins with Stefan, right?
I think they're brothers.
Oh, they are brothers.
Yeah, I think they are brothers.
I think Stefan is the older brother.
Makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Anything before we leave?
Nah.
Yeah, Chuck, how was AEW?
It was a lot of fun. It was a great time. The crowd was awesome.
Nice.
There was a ladder match. Was the main event. It was just really cool. Yeah, it was just a really great night overall. It's great to see CM
Love
Punk.
it.
So
Nice.
yeah. All right, that was the NFL on Chuck's chat. We're all gonna win. We're gonna go undefeated on locks again. Us
Let's do
three.
it.
Who knows about Jeff yet? I haven't seen his lock, but us three will because it's only 2 picks.
Yeah.
I'm cheating. So, all right,
Fox parlay could be easy money this week.
exactly. All right, that's the show.